How we doing, boys and girls? Good morning. Welcome, welcome. How we doing, y'all? Welcome, welcome. It's those tunes are a little bit loud for my liking. Let's dip those down a bit. Background tunes, that's what we need. Background tunes need to live in the background. Right, let's get our accounts up and running. How are we all doing this morning? Are we all good? It's Friday. It's nearly the weekend. It's nearly the weekend. Ooh, baby. First big weekend for some people. Crafter's Mark's popping off still. I put out my little video yesterday trying to give people a bit of a heads up to I don't know if I structured it very well, if I'm honest, but the do's and don'ts of Trade School Master, and at the moment the add-on is a little bit, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. But if you take it simple, don't try and do anything too fancy. There's you can get it to work easily. My goal for today is, if possible, is to get both my crafters on Taran Mill to Honoured. I'm a few days behind with dailies. I missed patterns on those fellas. I did all sorts of stuff. I had no intention of playing the Crafter's Mark game on Taran Mill, because it's a realm that's big enough that if you're not first, you might as well be last. And that's very much being proven by the price of some of the items right now. All I want to do is make sure that I'm in position for legendaries next reset, rank 7s. Got to make sure. I think I've done the campaign on all the characters I need. I don't know. I need to have a run through today, and I need to work out what's going on. In fact, what I absolutely, most definitely need to do before we go anywhere is to let the Discord know we're streaming. Bad Mantheus. Stream announcements. Ready. Let's grab my copy of that. Paste that. Boom, we're off. Off to the races. Yeah, I want to check my mailboxes this morning. Check the mailboxes, see if we're millionaires yet. Check the mailboxes, get auctions in tune, and then we can continue making sure that we're in a good spot for Wednesday. Like the entire build-up of this patch so far for me is, well, for me it's all about Wednesday. Getting in place, ready to sell those rank 7s. Welcome in, Woo. Good to see you this morning. Thank you very much once again for your little update. We've got some interesting discussions about Pog essences today, but I will give people the courtesy of a bit of time to flow in before we get too deep into that. I also found out yesterday, somebody told me that my VODs are not being uploaded to YouTube. I have a system in place so it should automatically do that, but apparently it doesn't do it. Somebody pointed out to me yesterday that I've not uploaded any of my VODs from Twitch for like 2 weeks at this point. Can you tell I don't pay much attention to my VOD channel at the moment? But that's a massive boo-boo on my behalf. I apologise for that. I don't know why I'm telling you guys, because you're already here, but yes, I noticed yesterday it's been basically for the entirety of 9.2. So I don't know what happened. Maybe I need to log back into something. I'll figure that out later. People seem to plenty of likes on yesterday's video. Surprises, like literally not a single comment on the video. I have no idea how that's a thing, but maybe I covered everything in the video. I'm starting off slow this morning. I'm still thawing out. I took the dogs out for a walk earlier, and I looked out the window this morning. It was like, ooh, sun. Not seen sun for a while. And then when I stepped outside, I realised, still cold though. It's still like -10 outside. Like, whoo, a bit of chillies. Even one of my dogs has started losing all her fur. She's decided, right, winter's over. It's time to shed this extra layer of fur that she carries around. My house is just like covered in dog fluff at the moment. Can't keep on top of it. But yeah, still mighty chilly. Another talk about the Pog Essentia. I'm going to enjoy seeing the price spike another 10k in the upcoming days. Well, that's what we'll talk about. Welcome to the north. Yeah, yeah. That deceptive weather outside. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It looks like a pleasant day. It almost looks like t-shirt weather. No, definitely not t-shirt weather. Holy jeez. Wow, big day for sales on Draenor. Big day for sales on Draenor. Where's Taran Mill then? This one. Let's grab the expireds. Ooh, 262 first thing this morning. Before I've even logged on, 30k. I tell you what, for as long as I can keep getting 30k for these, I am a happy man. Happy. Out of curiosity, did I sell it with a thing on it, or was it a naked one? Secondary stat. I've heard some interesting reports. So much so that I almost want to do some testing to this to try and put some science behind it. But many people are putting the primary stat progenitor enhancement on, which at first glance makes perfect sense. But the uptime on it is actually tragic. The primary stat one creates a little orb that you have to run over to get the buff. So it can proc, and if people don't go and collect the orb, then they don't get the buff, which means that uptime on it for some people is actually tragic. Meaning that there's a lot of people that are choosing to not take the primary stat one, even though at first glance it looks like the one that you should be going for. People are going for the secondary one because it's actually passive. It's ridiculous. The primary stat one is a giant trap. It feels that way. Like, it feels like the uneducated, which was all of us because nobody fucking tested it, the uneducated look at it and go, oh yeah, more primary stat. Thank you very much. But actually, outside of that, it's like, no, it's not that good. This is why crafting a variety of them, whilst the profits are still ridiculous like this, crafting a variety of them and just having them posted and letting people choose their own is actually a sensible thing to do. When the prices start coming down a little bit more, when you know, you start counting your pennies on crafting them, then we might have a different situation on our hands. But I'm just checking real quick to see if TSM's done any updates. It doesn't seem to be that TSM understands the crafting cost on these yet. I really don't want to have to hack... I spoke about this in yesterday's video. I really don't want to have to hack together a solution for a market that I'm going to play with for maybe 3 days before putting in the bin. But I feel I might have to, because I don't know just how soon TSM are going to get updates out for this sorts of stuff, if at all. I only make the one with the primary, and it melts like in Africa. I guess it sells like it melts in Africa, I guess is the phrase, right? Something like that. The avoidance one tends to be the best. You have to get the killing blow for the secondary stat one. Oh, do you really? There we go. There we go. Sure. This is it, you see. It's like, if you just go by what the tooltip says, it's a little bit difficult to actually work out. We needed people to put some science behind this. I really didn't test them all that much on the PTR, which in hindsight was a mistake, but I think I've done my fair share of testing generally. Oh, nearly another 3 mil day yesterday though. Wow, I actually did not think it was that high. I did not think we'd sold that much yesterday. That's actually a shock to the system. But then again, I don't think I had a single hour of the day where I hadn't sold over 300k an hour. So I guess it kind of makes sense. You're adding an extra 0 to my sales? What's up with Silvermoon, man? That realm seems to do crazy things. Is it mostly Legos for that gold? I mean, take a look. You can see that there is a. I must admit, yesterday I was getting easy time selling legendaries. Yesterday, it's quite apparent to me that everybody is using their cancel scan throttle on the 262s, whereas there was me reposting and cancel scanning on the legendaries, having an absolute field day. Because whilst, yes, let's search for the... In fact, by the looks of things, nearly all of it, like the 28k for Versatile Solemnum Ring, Quick Octane Ring, 33k, Versatile Solemnum Ring, 28k again. The majority of this is legendaries, actually. Probably on the basis that, like I said, everybody was focused somewhere else. So I basically cleaned up. Masterful Phaedrum Ring, Shadow Lace Hand Wraps at 28k. Really not that many 262s, you know. Shadow Lace Cord, 38k. Shadow Lace Tunic, 28k. Between 20 and 30k seems to be the price of the 262s on my realm. Or at least they were yesterday. Yesterday, you know, today could be a different day. Well, let's hoover up that gold then. Part of it is because I can't be asked to cancel scan, but if I cancel scan 100 items 3 times without a single sale, then why bother? Yeah, that's the frustration with cancel scanning. And this is why I try, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, obviously, but this is why I try to suggest people do cancel scans at the high traffic periods of the day. Trying to cancel scan 8 to 10 hours a day will just drive you into a grave, because you will go massive streaks where you'll probably cancel scan aggressively for 40 minutes and still not make a sale, and you're just like, well, what the fuck am I doing here? But then you'll get 500,000 of sales in 4 minutes, and it's like, all right, sure. Let's get this realm fully checked out with everything in place. Let's do a cancel scan on the Legos, get them in the right position. I'm so done with cancel scanning, I'd rather not do it on patch days. There's a few big goblins out there. Some that are not quite so publicly facing, but there's some big goblins out there that just straight up do not cancel scan, but they are nearly billionaires in this game. It becomes you just have to play a different game. You still have to play World of Warcraft, but you just have to play a different game. You have to go into exotics, flipping, this sort of thing. Crafting is always going to put yourself in a position, because crafting for the most part doesn't have a significantly high barrier to entry. Most people can pick up a profession, level it to max, and start crafting. Even if, you know, 2 days ago, even if you didn't have jewel crafting, you could, with a reasonable amount of gold, level up jewel crafting in a day and get going. The limiting factor for crafting is quite literally gold. If you've already got a little bit of it, you can throw it out of profession and get to a point where you can make more. But crafting, ironically, you know, it's called crafting, but realistically, it should be called cancel scanning, because that's what you actually have to do. Crafting the items in the first place is the easy bit. The difficult bit is then selling the damn things, because you're usually fighting 9 other people for that one sale. Which, yes, does mean that cancel scanning ends up very quickly becoming the meta. I'm very tempted, though, after Shadowlands to switch or not necessarily to switch, but to step it up a gear in a different direction. The problem is if I step it up and do, if I go heavy into cross-realm arbitrage or pets or exotics or any direction I then go in, it becomes, the content I produce then becomes far less relatable. This is why I kind of like sitting in the middle with crafting. It's a step, in my opinion, it's a step up from the basics of just farming, of which I equally think there's a you know, a seriously limited amount of content that can be made about farming without resorting to aggressively clickbaiting for views. You know, in this mid section, mid-tier, I suppose, of gold making, where we're doing a bit of crafting, you can start speculating on prices a lot more. You can start, you know, applying some economic logic. You know, there's process of buying your materials, there's process of keeping your costs down, there's the complexity of getting your add-ons in order to assist you with what you're doing. There's a lot more to work through. Yeah, there we go. Wu is a good example. He was one of the people I was thinking of as somebody that's remarkably wealthy in the game, but does very, very little of the actual crafting stuff. Because if you get enough gold, you don't need to. This is the point, right? You wait, like Wu's just said. You wait till you find that good deal. You spend more time hunting through realms and hunting through auction houses for the good deal, and you buy the good deal, and then you sell it to somebody else.
My inventory is full.
Professional middleman is the next step up, I think, from a simple crafting operation. Lots of above max posting at max. Is this such that... Yeah, I mean, I know I keep my operations tight. That's fine. Corthite crystals are going to the moon, though. Corthite crystals are going to the moon. I took a little glance on Torren Mill yesterday, just at the materials that were on offer. And was incredibly surprised to see that Corthite crystals were back at a 4-figure price. I was like, oh my god, the buff has gone. The buff has gone. Panic mode. I don't know what they are in my realm. I think they're still like 500 gold or something. Yeah. But they're still 500 gold, but every single day I've been making a note of just how many there are. Every single day there's considerably less. I'm about one good day of sales away from deleting this Corthite crystal market entirely. In fact, I'm not even one good day away from it. It's time to do it, I think. It's time to throw a spanner in the works. Because I've been waiting patiently. I've been waiting patiently for this quantity of Corthite crystals to diminish, and it's gone from 5,000 to 4,000 to 3,000 to 2,000 without any great significant movement in the overall price. And it's very, very tempting to just say, right. It's very, very tempting to say, right, Corthite crystals are now expensive again on this realm. What we should really do is, if we're really going to be smart about this, is we should do it a little bit more aggressively. Let's go. Where's my... What button am I trying to press? Holy Jesus. Let's get those off the auction house, although they're about to expire anyway. And let's say, right. So I'm hoping people have a buffer still. Because from this point onwards, I want to make those last remaining rank 6 sales incredibly profitable. Good that I bought 400 about 5 minutes ago. Well, at the rate I was selling rank 6s yesterday, I'm going to burn through my stock of them in about 2 days if I'm not careful. So I would rather price them higher and price them higher and not be so aggressive on my price. If I now go, what am I saying regarding where's my, okay. I can't actually remember what my material price is set to on quartzite crystals. What is it set to? Ah, okay, I see. I changed this a lot. I changed this like I changed my underpants. I'm always changing my material price for quartzite crystals. It's one of the only materials I micromanage the price of it. See, in theory now, what I should probably be doing is the market price isn't going to go anywhere. I might just let me just. I'm very tempted to just hard code in. Because I'm very certain there's not many people in my realm that have a huge amount of these now. Let's take a quick look at Shadow Ghast. There's an H in there somewhere, isn't there? There's always an H where you don't expect it. 262s, there were 7 of them. 10 of them. Okay, there's still a good supply of plates. I need some of these. Was it next week we get rank 7s? Yeah. Yeah, reset we get chapter 5 of the campaign. Chapter 5 of the campaign will also provide people with the Tome of the Eternal, which will give people the pattern for the new Vestige of Eternal, giving people for the first time the option of making a rank 7. There's some we were talking the other day how people don't explain the process correctly. They collate one quantity of materials to one outcome, forgetting that there's lots of steps in the middle. I saw people in trade chat yesterday even saying, "Oh, good, I've farmed up my 2. How many?" Something along the lines of, "How many progenitor essentia do I need for my rank 7?" And somebody said 2, and the guy then replies with, "Great, I've farmed up my 2." He's going to be utterly disappointed when he finds out that he doesn't take his progenitor essentia to the rune carver and get a rank 7. There's lots of steps in the middle of that. Yes, crafters need 2 progenitor essentia to make a vestige of the Eternal. That vestige of the Eternal can then be used on a rank 4 pattern, assuming you have the rank 4 unlocked, which less than 1% of people do. Then you can use that vestige of Eternal to make a rank 7 base item, which you can then go and take to the rune carver with the addition of 2000 cosmic flux. There's lots of steps in the middle. It's not just take 2 pog essence to the rune carver and GG you win. The lack of understanding is going to hit hard, I reckon. Belts, we're down to only 5 on my realm. There's 262 belts. There's the braces. Sorry, there's a few of those. Capes. My days. We're down to only 3 capes apparently. Only 3 capes apparently. How many do I have? I have 6 capes. That means I sold a couple yesterday. Whose are these? Well, time to switch things up a bit. Auctions. I really wish I could press the right buttons today. Let's get that off the auction house. Oh God. Green Veiled Cape. I've got to be careful now because my normal is set to only 53k. I need to post this manually. My maximum price is 68. I've timed my Corthites perfectly, 19k Corthite crystals, and I've sort of run out this week. Rank 6s will still sell next week though. Sure it won't be your primary focus, but boy oh boy, rank 6s will still sell next week. When people try to buy a rank 7 and they realise that they don't particularly want to spend 200,000 gold on their rank 7, they may very quickly settle for a 50k rank 6. It's usually a situation, something along those lines, to whereas, you know, somebody will buy something that's not quite as powerful just because it's a fraction of the price. I now seem to have expireds coming through like a crazy person. Let's stop buying things for a minute. Look at me, right? 1 day, 2 days of profitable sales, and there's me buying out the auction house of Corthite crystals again, so that I don't run out. I really hope people are still farming the damn things, you know, because as much as it's, you know, it looks funny for me to reset the market to 1,500 gold a piece, it's not funny for when I run out and need more. It's actually in my best interest to have them be cheap, but I need to showcase to people that actually, they're running out. They're running out. Don't be crazy with your prices. They're running out. Right. Pog Essence, 16k a piece. I think I've got enough Pog Essence short term. I can't remember how many I said I wanted to have. I'm at the point where I'm almost considering stopping making any more 262s. Outside of jewellery. It's funny to see 2 crystals in the auction house. Well, next week there won't be any cheap rank 6s left. I think the supply is going to be gonzo. Yeah. So see, this is it. There's not. You got to remember, there's not only a buffer. There's not only a buffer of the materials. There's a buffer of rank 6s that people have already crafted. That, in many people's eyes, they are doing their best. They are doing absolutely everything in their power to get rid of their rank 6s, because they go by the logic that they'll be dead next week. Not necessarily true. But that still doesn't stop people from trying to panic sell their last few rank 6s so that they're not stuck with stock. But like I said, once the supply of the crafts even starts to dissipate, people have to go and recraft those things, all of a sudden their crafting cost goes through the roof. And most of the time you find people's prices for a legendary is especially if you use TSM, there's a very strong likelihood that your price for something like a Korthite crystal is universal across the board. So if you have to rebuy your Korthite crystals at 1,000 gold, if you have to pay double the price for your Korthite crystals, what that in turn is going to also do for most people is bring up the minimum price of all of their other stuff as well. This is why using crafting as a price source is a bit risky, because it's not actually a true reflection of what you paid to make that item. Although by common sense you would look at it to be that, but it's actually not. Crafting is actually how much it's going to cost you, arguably, to recraft that item once you sell it. Which is equally another difficult distinction to get your head round. Did I sell I sold 9,000 shrouded cloth yesterday? Damn. The only way I listed that and sold that is if I put it at a high price. That looks about 1 gold 80 a piece for shrouded cloth. Well, flipping shrouded cloth now apparently. I tell you, I love this time of the patch. I love this time of the patch where everything is just up and down like a yo-yo level crazy. 700k on Tower and Mill yesterday. I don't think I did a single cancel scan over here, by the way. The reason these legendaries sold yesterday is for the exact same reason to what we've just seen me do over here on Sylvanas. The reason these legendaries on Tower and Mill sold yesterday is quite simple. That the Korthite crystals spiked in price and appear to have basically run out. If you look down here, over 1,000 gold a piece for Korthite crystal. The supply has basically run out. So if you want to come in and recraft any more of these, you're in a sticky situation. For me though, Taran Mill is like, I'm not too, focused on this realm generally. I'll craft what I craft and I'll sell what I sell. I don't really min-max it all that much. Not anymore. Alright, let's get all of this relisted though. A rank 6 Grimveiled Cape at 68k sold instantly. It took 4 minutes for that to sell. Is that the assumption? Am I right to assume there then? Let's take a little looky. Am I right to assume that somebody bought that to reset my reset? Did somebody reset my reset? Are they going to be utterly disappointed? No, they just straight up bought it. That's funny. Auctions. Did somebody just straight... Yep. Genius. I need to relist that one manually then. Because my operations are set to post at normal if I'm the only... My normal price is actually only 50k. Well, if we sold it that easily then, we're going to go 90k. If I could sell one in 4 minutes. Selling capes like crazy makes no sense, but I'll take it. Well, it makes sense from the perspective of that it's another safe slot. There's very clearly two categories of people buying legendaries right now. There's people that want to buy it in a safe slot so that they know they're not going to have to buy it and replace it again. There's also people who are trying to min-max their gear, of which then they want to put it on a non-safe slot, but one that gives most stats. People are, and this is the cool thing about legendaries this patch. Everybody wants to do something different. 9.1 was boring. Everybody wanted the ring, everybody wanted the cape. Nobody wanted anything else. Sure, you'd sell a few other things here or there, but for the most part, it was 2 legendaries that everybody wanted. Boring. This is much more fun. Everybody wants a little bit of everything now. And that's of great benefit to anybody that has put the time and the effort in to level more than just the cape or the ring. They may even see the rank 6 as a temporary affordable thing. Yeah, very, very probably. I think a lot of these auctions are on 12 hours, aren't they? Yeah, I'm posting a lot of stuff at 12 hours at the moment. This is why I'm getting huge amounts of relisting needed. Yeah, I mean, if you buy a quote-unquote affordable rank 6, you know, then, you know, go do the raid, see if you get any tier pieces drop. If you get 2 of your tier pieces, then you know you definitely don't want to build your legendary in those slots. Then, you know, see, this is it. Some people might wait. Some people might wait until they get their... They might wait it out until they get their 4-piece. But without the creation catalyst, it might be quite difficult for people to actually get their 4-piece without any gross amounts of trading. Because you're entirely waiting for RNGesus to bless you. And the creation catalyst doesn't kick in for like 7 weeks or something. Because, you know, because hashtag time gating. Shadow Ghost necklace, some bone shatter treads. I'm also very tempted to just burn through my rank 4s at this point. My rank 4s are using too many of my materials for too little profit right now. I know that sounds gross, but it's like I make 3,000 or 4,000 gold on every rank 4 that I sell, but they use just as many materials as it takes for me to make a rank 6 or 7. Which, going forward into next week, I need to keep a steady supply of materials. Actually, I bought yesterday, where was it? Heavy Callous Hide has still been very, very affordable for me over the last few days. I'm equally still concerned I don't have enough of this at the cheap stuff. But I snagged a whole load of it, I think at like 200 gold a piece or something yesterday. Skinners are getting bored. Like I said, I knew this would come. Skinners are getting bored with selling their stuff, right? They're getting bored with relisting it and it not selling, meaning that they're dumping the prices just to get shot of it, which is nice because I'll pick it up. I'll buy it. Buy that for $1. Getting sus about rank 5 recrafting. Profits are pretty good on them, but might be stuck with them next week. Well, there's really no... If your Pog Essences are anything above like 15k a piece, there's really no issues about... There's no issues about trying to sell your rank 5s or rank 6 and ranks 5s or 6s anytime soon. The problem comes when your Pog Essence is sub 10k. If your Pog Essence starts dropping below 10,000 gold a piece, it's very quickly going to be much cheaper for people to be recrafting with Pog Essences instead of Korthite crystals. How much do you think the rank 7s will sell for? They'll sell for as much as people can sell them for. I mean, if history repeats itself, I wouldn't be surprised to see them selling for 150k a piece the first week. There's arguably going to be even less people able to craft a rank 7 this time than there was rank 5s or 6s previously. As we've seen, there's a significant, or at least what appears to be a significant shortage of progenitor essentia floating about. On most of the big realms out there, you never really see more than a few hundred of these things listed at any one point. That's probably because people are squirreling them away. Now, you've got to remember though, even if this thing is 20k a piece, that means you've only actually got, you know, 40k of cost to make your vestige, on top of whatever it costs you to make a rank 4 naturally, which is about 20k. So even with Pog Essence at 20,000 gold a piece, it probably only has a cost for rank 7 of about 60. But that definitely means that early days people are going to want to double their money on whatever they have to put in. They want to get double out. So if you spend 60k, you're probably going to want to sell your legendaries for 120 plus. Is the early days thought process on that. You want to post them for as high as people will still continue to pay for them. And I think there's going to be a lot of people out there looking to buy their rank 7s very quickly. Either they're progression focused and they want it for their raid, or they just want it because it's a high item level. You know, who doesn't want a 291 piece of gear, you know? Look how many people have snapped up 262 BOEs this week. People are power hungry. People are gear whores. And there's no friction this time. There's no friction. Like, people can buy the rank 7 base item, take it straight to the rune carver, and boom, there's their 291. No friction whatsoever. Cosmic Flux is an absolute joke. 2,000 Cosmic Flux. Any man can get 2,000 Cosmic Flux. You pick up 10 treasures and you've got 2,000 Cosmic Flux. Cosmic Flux is a joke. People were min-maxing the crap out of Soul Cinders only one patch ago to make sure they could afford their legendary as soon as possible. This time round, everybody's just waiting on the crafters. Soon as the crafters make them, then people will start buying them. And the crafters are waiting on the campaign. So, you know, it's a bit of a waiting game right now. Everybody's sat. There's lots of people that if rank 7s hit the auction house today, which they can't, but if they did, there's lots of people that would buy them today because there's people that want them. Did they do a sneaky buff on the drop rate of Pog Essences, getting 10 per 2 hours usually? How many people are here? We got a fair few people here now. I was holding back on talking about this until there was, you know, I was giving people the opportunity to flow in. I don't think there's so much of a buff on the Pog Essence drop rate as much as I think that they've fixed the buff. I kind of think that what was it? The Echo of Genesee? Is it Echo of Genesee? I don't know. I don't know. The Giro that gives you the Giro dude that gives you the buff, the 15-minute progenitor enhancement buff. I just don't think that buff worked in the PTR. I noticed almost zero difference between farming with the buff or without the buff. Now, that could be in theory because the drop rate on Pog Essence is so low to begin with. A 15% increase on 0 is still 0, you know. What I'm of the opinion is that the buff just didn't work, and in the latest patch they hotfixed the buff so that it does actually work. Meaning that if you're now running around farming with that Pog Essence buff, you do actually start to see them drop from what you're doing. Whether that be treasures or herbs or you know what I mean. Any form of farming seems to have an increased drop rate once you have this buff now. So that's it's like I said, it's not really. I mean, yes, it is a buff. It is now considerably easier by the looks of things for people to get hold of them. But what I want to clarify here is do not panic. For the love of shit, do not panic. Because you have to go considerably out of your way to get these. General Joe is not finding these Pog Essences. General Joe is playing Corthia on 5 characters, doing daily quests, patterns, the whole shebang, and getting like 1 or 2. General Joe is not coming across these Pog Essences. It's Christmas come early for farmers, though. I shit you not. Farmers could very genuinely be making 50, 60, 70, 80,000 gold an hour just running around. And that's just with a Pog Essence, right? They're picking up herbs and ore and all sorts of shit on top of that. It's a good time to be farming right now. But of course, if you're spending your time farming, you're not doing anything else. So, saw some people panic selling yesterday on EU Draenor. General Joe is definitely getting them. I'm casually strolling around doing dailies, and I've got 4. Yeah, but not at anywhere near the rate that... And not... to play devil's advocate, yes, of course General Joe does find them. There is the chance to still get them. But the point being here is that in comparative terms to those people that go out and get them, they're still remarkably rare. What I do think is happening for sure, what I absolutely think is happening for sure, is people have just got like sniper scans on the go. People have got it in their head that any time they're under 15k, they buy them. So what this is doing is people are actually getting quite... There's probably a lot of people on your realms now that have got quite a stock of them. There'll be people that will have more than enough for them to craft a good amount of rank 7s. So the people that... The big crafters on your realm will probably be fine. The opportunistic gold makers, the ones that will see the rank 7s be listed at super high prices and want in on some of that. Now, of course, there's less of those because to do it, you need the rank 4 pattern in the first place. The barrier to entry to even making the rank 7s is disgusting. But yeah, it's... I don't think there's really any concern. They're still going to be remarkably expensive, remarkably difficult to come by. And for the first few weeks into rank 7 land, they'll be ridiculously priced. How many am I stocking, if you don't mind me asking? I'm stocking based on what I can get them for. I'm not overpaying for them. I've got a reasonable amount. I mean, it's just simple numbers, simple maths, right? Depends how many rank 7s you want to make and sell. It depends on how many you stock. I think I've got about 700 overall, but that's across 2 realms. 2 realms that play very differently. As much as I can get for a reasonable price. Yeah, that's the trick to making profit with crafting is getting your materials at the right price. Raiding is also definitely having some impact on the big raiding servers. You'll probably find after everybody comes out from their raiding, you'll see a zerg of them on the auction house. There'll be a zerg in supply as everybody comes back from their raid. And any lucky people getting a Pog Essence drop from the raid will obviously, you know, just throw it up on the auction house to try and sell it. Fixed an issue that's causing the pure air sail extensions to increase flying speed. No more flying fast. How's that a fix? It says it increases mount speed. How is that? Ah, no more flying fast? Oh, that's a shame. Well, I mean, the speed sets are still OP as all hell. I need to make a speed set for my hunter, actually. Fun detected? Yeah. I enjoyed it for one day. Began the legendary quest 2 months ago. with about 400k gold. Now I've a couple of rank 4 patterns and I'm up about 500k. By no means a top goblin, but quietly happy. Good effort, my man. Good effort. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words, and congratulations on your success. Keep going. Keep going. I don't seem to be able to get on top of these expireds. Every time I open the mailbox, there's more. There's a bug with a flask duration one. Somebody had it a 19-day long flask yesterday. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. That's funny. Something along the lines of if you log out or if you Alt F4 out of your game and load back in, it refreshes the buff or something. There was some shenanigans to get the buff to stack on top of itself.
My inventory is full.
Do you only need to complete the quest chain or also be honoured? I'm going to assume you're talking about getting the Tome of Origins. On that assumption that yes, you need both. You need to complete the quest. You need to complete chapter 5 of the campaign, and you need to be honoured. I do wonder just how many people there'll be. How many legendary crafters there'll be on Wednesday that will complete the campaign, get their Tome of Origins, and then be very, very sad to see that they now need to somehow grind out Honoured before they can use it. It's very sneaky, Blizzard. Very sneaky, Blizzard. Or who knows? That might have been a PTR bug, and they might change it for the only way, you know. The only change there would be a positive one, but I imagine it could be a lot, yeah. Especially people who are crafting legendaries on multiple realms right now. Not that it's particularly hard work for a single character to hit Honoured, but, you know, when you're trying to do it on 5, 10... I think Dirty Irby was trying to do it on 15 characters or something ridiculous. 15 sets of dailies every day just to get Honoured is kind of a pain in the ass. I'm still, I still have 2 characters that I need to get to Honoured, which we're going to work on a little bit today. Nothing too outrageous, just some world quests and chipping away at patterns. But what I need to start focusing on more so is getting some things like this, getting my enchanted heavy callous hide pre-crafted, my enchanted lightless silk pre-crafted, this sorts of thing. We've logged out on these realms, of course we have. Howdy from down under. Welcome, welcome. I imagine it's nice and warm down under, right? Not like the minus 10 degrees Celsius it was when I took the dogs for a walk this morning. Woo! Chilly. Chilly, chilly. In a way, I'm kind of glad, though, that the legendary game is sort of time-gated. Obviously, locked behind campaign progress. Although, it would have made it a very interesting patch if it was just a free-for-all. You know, if the first person to get rank 7 legendary... I mean, oh my god. If the rep grind was for legendaries... I would have been awake 23 out of 24 hours of the day. Love getting tons of heavy callous hides for 90 gold each. are the farmers trying to get profit with only the pog essences? 90 gold each? Oh my god. Oh my days. And there's me thinking getting them at 200 gold a piece was a bargain. Think about it, need exalted for rank 7. I mean, if I would have probably have quit the game if that was a thing. Like straight up, I would have probably quit the game if that was a thing. I'm not, you know, I'm not playing that game. Holy Jesus. Little Uve, welcome in. Good morning to you. Welcome, welcome. Personally, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that if I was happy to do it on one character. That's it. My approach to the game would just probably be entirely different. I would just go, you know, drag everything in. I'd do it on one character. I'd do it on the biggest realm out there. And I'd min-max the crap out of it on a single character. Inventory management starting to take up half my time. Need more than 100 mail slots. That's the sound of somebody with too much stuff, woo. That's the sound of somebody with too much stuff. Get it sold. The hidden part of goal making. That's the title for a video, isn't it? Gold making's dirty little secret. Inventory management. The dirty little secret no gold goblin wants to talk about. Hashtag gone wrong. You forgot to lick the mic. All Lego prep mats. Yeah. Right, finally, we might almost be at the point where I've relisted everything. On this realm, anyway. Tell you what, adding these 262s and adding the 233s to the mix as well. There's a lot of stuff. The 30k proto flash I bought yesterday, seems like Raiders haven't taken the buff bait yet. They'll work it out soon enough. They'll work it out soon enough, don't you worry. Oh my god, an empty mailbox. I've done it. I've done it. We've reached the bottom of the mailbox. 71k on rank 6 rings, selling like hot bread as well. Yeah, people are loving them some jewel crafting at the moment. People are loving them some jewel crafting. Hey up, hey up. More Corthite. People are following. People posted at 1500. I only posted 20. Essence of Torment. 2,500 gold a piece. Does that mean Sinviror's like 100 gold each or something? Where's Sinviror? 26 gold a piece. I must be close to... Yeah, there we go. I thought so. I never know how much lithium I want to keep in stock. On the basis that I don't think I've crafted all that many enchanted lithium bars. Do I want more of this? $69 giggity. Right, let's put this account to good use. Lithium bars. Go. Right, now at least on this realm, we wait for the money to roll in. Where are we over here? This is Taran Mill. Let's get a quick cancel scan on Legos. Not a lot to cancel there, which is nice. I think I'm running quite low on stock actually over on this realm. Oh my days, look at all the zeros. I'm running incredibly low on stock. Jeez, alright, sure. What's this Donny doing over here? Let's get that lot sold. That I think is... I need to pay some attention to quantity of materials over here. I feel bad for doing it. I feel bad for doing it. Somebody took the bait though. And that hurts. Some skinner's going to have a bad day right now, I'm telling you. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, but... bought from... who is this? They're not even online. Alright, fine. Somebody doing it again? Really? Stop being a scumbag, Andy. Lightless silk at 7 gold apiece. I'm gonna fuck this player right off. They should take an auction house tax when you post an item, but give you 5 minutes to cancel it in case you misposted it. They probably should, but the harsh reality of it is, you know, you should pay attention to what you're doing. If you care about it that much, you should pay attention to what you're doing. Which is why Blizzard don't do anything about it. Because if it's for example, I'll give you an example. They want to have a completely hands-off approach, because the second they start to implement something like that, they start to take responsibility for other people's mistakes. An example of this is that in the UK, for example, if you own a shop and it's really cold overnight and it's rained, and outside the front of your shop it gets really icy. If you, as a shop owner, go and start to, you know, put down grit or put down salt on the ice to make it safe for people, which is, you know, arguably the right thing to do. If you do that and then somebody slips and falls outside the front of your house, they can blame you for not doing an adequate job of gritting and salting the floor. And so what is actually the correct approach for the shop owner is to not do anything, because then they don't have any responsibility over the front of their shop. They can't be at fault for somebody slipping over. It's a real dumb, you know, it's a real dumb system, but it's how it works. And I know this is a video game, but it's the same theory, right? That as soon as Blizzard start putting, you know, putting things in place to prevent people from, you know, doing stupid things, as soon as they start taking ownership for other people's mistakes, it's bad news for them generally, which is why they have, you know, it's an open market, you do as you please. And the argument stands is that if you care enough about making the gold for the items that you sell, you should pay attention to how much you list them for. It's just a bit of a shit situation. Oh, disconnected. Which realm was this? Draenor. Let's get our auctions in place on Draenor then. It's more to stop cancel scanning because it's quite out of hand. And if they take so much pride in their product but not the auction house. It's Blizzard, well, yeah, it's the same thing though. It's the same thing though. You either have an open market where you know you can price whatever you want at whatever price that you want, or they start implementing systems and rules and regulations on top of it. There is some strong argument to say that the reason why the economy in World of Warcraft has been thriving for 17 years is because of the hands-off approach, because it's an open market. They let the players dictate the price of items, they let supply and demand do its thing, and they have a relatively hands-off approach to it. They provide you the interface to, or the means to be able to post things and sell things to other players. Outside of that though, you know, they stand back. They let the auction house be the auction house. They added the throttle for the purpose of just server load issues. The throttle is there so that you can still only interact with the auction house, you know, like 60 times a minute. If you start going above your quota of auction house usage, you get throttled, you get slowed down. That was primarily for the purpose of, you know, server load issues in busy periods. Now, obviously, some goblins live in the throttle, but that's because we are just trying to, you know, be bleeding edge. We're trying to do as much as we can, as quick as we can. Soon as Blizzard start, you know, changing the way that the auction... And there's... Very, very rarely is there any argument for changing the auction house which actually results in a better solution for the players generally. Most of the times it's just arbitrary. The only solutions is to add arbitrary limits, which people will just find a way to get around that limit. And so it doesn't actually create a better environment. This is the problem. Any advice for somebody with 800k looking to start making real gold? I mean, with 800k, you are already making real gold, without question. Without question. Right now, you know, there's a new raid out. It's people will be buying their consumables for raid at an incredibly fast rate right now. There's probably good opportunities to be had in consumables, flasks, potions, food, enchants, gems, these sorts of things. That's assuming that you want to play your hand at some form of crafting and selling. Farming, like you can literally farm any of the current materials right now and make an absolute stack load of cash every hour with very little effort. Yeah, plenty of opportunities. This makes me think of the first time I was making a rank 6. I forgot to rank it up with the vestige. Kind of lost all my gold just by forgetting to put the vestige on. Yeah, you gotta take ownership of your own mistakes. This is the problem. Far too much in the real world, people try and blame other people for their mistakes. Now I know this isn't the real world. I know this is a silly little video game that we all play. But the point still stands, is if you make a fuck up, learn from your fuck up and don't do it again. 90% of the time, it's nobody else's fault that you fucked up. Gold ceiling for transfers and such, also helping with a healthy economy. Yeah, see, I share a slightly different opinion to some people on this, that I like to think that each realm has its own micro economy that is, whilst it might slightly be affected by the overall inflation in the game and the overall value of gold, I think each realm has its own little economy, you know. On any given realm, people need to farm materials to craft things, to sell crafted items to people, and there should be some sort of balance between that, and it's kept within, it's kept within the four walls of that server, that realm. There are some exclusions to that. Obviously, things like pets are a little bit more, you can get a pet and you can sell it on any realm you want. But I like the fact that each individual realm is almost a closed off mini micro economy. But Blizzard seems to be moving slowly but surely to a system that facilitates all of the realms being a little bit more interlinked. Especially with them now making it much cheaper for people to take a character to another realm. There's no question about it. You'll start to see a lot more people realm hopping with bags full of materials to sell. You'll see people that live on the smaller servers taking a holiday to the bigger servers, filling up their bags and then going back home again with a bunch of souvenirs. You'll start to see that a lot more frequently. And unfortunately, that dilutes the theory of each realm being their own little mini economy. But I don't think there's so many people that will engage in that sort of activity that it will make much of a difference, but we'll see. Received the message, why do you post every time I post my options? It's because it's an auction house, yeah. Yeah. Why do you post your auctions every time I post mine? It's been a bit busted up, this expansion, at least on smaller servers. I tend to feel that Blizzard have a bit of a problem on their hands, though, that the way that they're creating the game nowadays facilitates the large population servers very nicely, but the smaller servers are coming up against considerably more issues. This expansion, if you play on a low pop server, your legendary market has just been borderline impossible to deal with, I would imagine, for some people. Combination of extremely high crafting costs, because there's just not enough people farming mats on the small servers. But sat on top of the fact that you need to craft 45 of an item just to max out a single slot. Resulting in just wild prices on legendaries on small servers. This is why I'm slowly but surely migrating to bigger and more popular servers, for the one simple reason is that, well, that's where everybody is. That's where the players are. Where there's more players, there's more people that want things. Where there's more players, there's more people that are farming things. It's like if you're let's say if you're Walmart and you're planning on opening a new superstore, do you build your superstore in the little town that's got 500 people in it, or do you build your superstore in the big city that's got 3 million people in it? Like, you know, you could be a big fish in a small pond, but still not really make much profit because of that. Or you could be a small fish in a monstrously large pond, and even on a bad day make more than you would on a small server. There's a blue post that Vardis linked regarding the transferring for profits. Is it? Oh, there's a blue post on it. There's a blue. Let's have a little looky. What was the original comment here? Oh, okay. Let's throw this into the public eye. How does Blizzard feel about server economy manipulation? When was this posted? Back in January. Hi all and Blizzard, if you read this. How do we feel about server arbitrage where somebody... Can you see this? You can. How do we feel about server arbitrage when somebody films a guild bank with legendaries, for example, all slots on all professions? This doesn't sound like an example. This sounds like somebody did this and I'm mad. And guild transfers to a server with higher prices. I'm asking because this appears to have... there we go. I'm asking because this appears to have happened on my server. A player has entered the market after the new year, and none of his crafted legendaries in any profession have a made by name. His bank tune is on all day, aggressively cancelling and reposting, which I know is part of the auction house PvP game. I don't take issue with this. I do see previous posts here and on Reddit where people indicate this kind of thing, if done solely for gold making, is frowned upon and has in some cases led to a ban. How do you feel about this? A Blizz response would be fantastic. There is no ruling regarding manipulating the server economy that would make buying and selling items obtained legitimately against the rules. Transferring servers with a stockpile of items is not against the rules either, and is often recommended as how you should transfer wealth when you are running into the gold cap. And then the blue. The official Blizzard voice speaks. I would agree. There aren't any rules prohibiting people from transferring with goods to realms that may have higher prices with the intent to sell them. It is a free economy, and each realm is not considered a closed and guarded system. There we go. Like straight from the horse's mouth, as they say. But this is you see, this is countery to how I like to feel that the game is, though. I know it's a free economy, but I would like to think that each individual realm is its own mini economy. But in the Blizzard's eyes, they're not. It's just the game. You know, prices might be higher on one, lower on another. For some reason, I remember there being rules against economy manipulation, but I remember wrong. Yes, that there is. People have in the past taken suspensions and bans for, but you have to fall into some sort of exploitative way of doing it, right? So, for example, if you rally together, you and your guild, to buy up and stranglehold every single item on the auction house, that would be, you know, that would be considered aggressive manipulation, which people have been, you know, been banned for, because it's borderline exploitative. You're taking advantage of something that you individually wouldn't normally be able to achieve by rallying others to help you in a, you know, to clean an auction house out. If you've made the gold yourself and you're able to go to the auction house and buy all of the material, then you do you, because it's your gold, you're engaging with it. It's entirely legitimate that you can do that. But if you were to rally other people in, you know, getting them to do the same sort of thing to manipulate the market in that regard, then it's a little bit more borderline. They keep the rules deliberately vague. Why do they keep the rules deliberately vague? So that on a whim they can ban somebody if they don't like it. It's deliberately done that way. But yeah, straight from the horse's mouth, it's a free economy. You know, you as an individual can do whatever you want. You can buy what you want. You can sell what you want. If you want to buy a bunch of stuff and you want to move to a different server, you do you. Carry on. But I equally, the thing that I don't like about it is that this person, for example, to give them some credit here, this person has probably spent a reasonable amount of time working within the extremes of their server's economy to level up their legendaries, for somebody to just steamroll in and just dumpster fire all of their previous effort. It's annoying, right? It's annoying and it's frustrating, because you may be buying your materials, you may be crafting things, and you may be selling things based on, you know, the emphasis that you bought the materials at a certain price. It's frustrating, but if the rules are as such that it's a free economy, then you can do that. Streamlabs has taken too much coffee today. Maybe he has. If and when realm manipulation gets worse, Blizzard could either combine auction houses between more realms and or take action against the high loot value. The thing is, though, this is one of those things that people, it's never going to get that bad. Let me explain very simply why it will never get that bad. Because the cost involved, the amount of gold that you need to be able to fill a guild bank or fill your character with high value items and transfer them to another realm is ludicrous. We equally have to remember that we live in a bubble. We live in a bubble. We like to engage within the goal making community, of which many people in the goal making community have a lot of gold. You step outside the goal making community, nobody's got any gold ever. Nobody's ever got any gold ever. On average, I would go as far as to say the average player of this game has less than 1 token's worth of gold. 99.9% of players have absolutely no chance of doing this transferring shenanigans anyway. So it's never going to get that bad because it's so far out the realms of possibility for most players anyway. It might happen once or twice on a server. It's like, well, it's never going to be a big enough of an issue, and hence why they take this stand back approach. They're like, sure, you do you. It really, in the grand scale of things, it's really not much of an issue. Are we through our mailbox here yet? No, still not. Combined, my guild may have gone for 3 tokens, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I believe that in my guild with 300 plus members, I'm probably the only one with more than 500k gold. Probably. Probably. If you step foot outside of the gold making community and you just casually quiz people how much gold they've got, you will be surprised how much gold most people do not have. Genuinely. Hence why there's lots of people that step into gold making. Why do you think they do that? Most people don't get into gold making unless they don't have a lot of gold to begin with. People look at, people look at making 20k gold an hour through farming and they're like, whoa, that's a lot of gold. Within my friends and guild, there is one guy with more than 1 million gold, and I'm the only one with a gold cap. Yeah. Yeah, gold, like, it's become this expansion, and primarily off the back of legendaries. It's been a lot more viable for people to hit the gold cap. You know, there's almost a blueprint on how to do it at this point. That for most of Shadowlands, the blueprint to make a lot of gold has been to aggressively level your legendaries and cancel scan your ass off. You can very quickly and easily make a gold cap by doing that if you're playing on a big realm. Previously though, only as far as like 1 expansion ago, to be gold capped was a ludicrous expectation and would have taken years of time and effort to achieve without doing something extraordinary. Oh, hang on. I have a phone call. Be right back. Alrighty, sorry. We are back. I can't remember what we were talking. Oh, we were talking about the fact that, yeah, we were talking about that everybody has no gold. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we've actually got to a point where everything's ticking over nicely over here and all. What's Quartzite crystals doing on Draenor? Quartzite crystals on Draenor, 1,000 gold apiece. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. I knew that buffer. I knew that buffer of Quartzite crystals would disappear very quickly as soon as people stop farming Quarthia. As goblins are here making millions whilst farmers are grinding their ass off for 20k an hour. Meanwhile, CEOs are just paying us a wage whilst they're sitting there selling off the end products, finding the best deals on resources. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's also very similar. Yeah, the similarities are remarkably similar. The similarities are similar. You know what I mean. My new auction house friend went from asking dumb questions to hate mail. Might report him later. Well, you know. What we need is an IRL gold version of Mantheus. See, this is one thing that's concerned me over time. What's concerned me over time is that there are such things as, you know, how to make money gurus, IRL. And they are some of the most shady people on the planet. That they will spin you a story to make a buck themselves. And I would hate to be labelled as the World of Warcraft equivalent, which is why I take a very strong emphasis with the content to not kind of tell people how to make gold, but to you know, explain the economy, explain how things work, and that once you explain and once you understand how those things work, you can start to put two and two together yourself. Which is why my YouTube content specifically is very rarely a 100,000 gold an hour. That's just, you know, spinning a story to make a buck, in my opinion. If everybody did Legos, then Legos wouldn't be profitable. Ironically, everybody does do Legos and they are still profitable. But yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's the same with most things, that if you blindly follow a path that somebody tells you to do, then when too many people do it, it crashes and burns. Silk and proto fiber, 400 gold. Jesus. Not selling a book. While I don't sell a book, no. I do skirt the lines of, you know, promoting my Patreon, because that has a TSM profile attached to it. There are some perks. I guess the big thing is the simple fact that the people who actually understand how to make money tend not to have too much time to explain it to other people. Yeah, there's a large amount of that, right? There's a large amount of that. People who are very, very wealthy in this world don't have time to teach everybody else how to do it because they're too busy doing it themselves. Yeah, there's definitely an element of truth in that. Right, I need to do a little bit of sweep through my characters and check that I've got the progress I need on them. I need to make sure that I've done the campaign on all of my characters first. So I'm going to cycle through these just real quick to make sure I've done that. It's one thing that concerns me a little regarding newer goblins to the scene. No shade on them at all. It's been the right thing to do. but it's been a real cash cow and super easy relative to other previous strategies. They'll need to be able to adapt for the new meta and the new expansion. Yeah. You see, this is why, yeah. Legendaries, for example, has been just an absolute cash cow. Monstrous level cash cow. Which, arguably, the basics is actually not that difficult. Craft a bunch of shit and sell it. And the quicker you can do that, the more you can win. The problem is yes, like you pointed out, there's never really, as such, been such a simple blueprint to how to go about making a gold cap worth of gold. In Shadowlands, the blueprint to hitting gold cap is simple. Craft a bunch of legendaries, sell a bunch of legendaries, and keep doing it until you're super duper rich. A few nuances in that, of course. But in past expansions, it's never been the case. This is what, in past expansions, to hit a gold cap, you had to be adapting and dipping your toe into many different scenes. You had to be planning ahead for patches, taking advantage of markets when they swing aggressively in one direction. You had to do a little bit of everything. There was never just one thing that was like you do this and you'll have a reasonable amount of success. But in my opinion, it's made Shadowlands really boring. It's made Shadowlands really boring. I want to go back to that period in time where you have to be doing 10 different things, and some things become, some things are profitable at certain times, some things are profitable at other times. I want it to be a little bit more varied. This dude, by the looks of things, we are campaign chapter. We've done all the first 4 chapters. He's done. He's obviously honored already. So he's ready for legendaries. Ready apart from the fact he's got full bags of stuff. I need to craft a bunch of gear actually on this dude. But this one's ready for legendaries. Closest thing to that I can remember was Glyphs when they introduced the system. Well, Glyphmas was another one of those flash in the pans. Glyphmas was similar to that of Dark Moon cards at the beginning of every expansion. Something that's super duper powerful for a short period of time. Glyphmas lasted, when Glyphs were first introduced, it lasted a little bit longer. It wasn't quite so flash in the pan, but it was another example of something that if you took advantage of it, you could make a lot of gold very quickly, but it's a market that equally very quickly went away. Rarely have we ever seen anything that has been, for an entire expansion, just consistently good. Not just consistently good, but consistently light years ahead of nearly every other method of making gold. And I use the word nearly because there are definitely still some markets out there that are more lucrative than legendaries. But they're a lot more exclusive. This dude is also honoured. This dude has campaign progress 4 of 7 as well. Lovely stuff. He's good to go. I think actually on my main server all of my characters are ready to rock and roll for next week, outside of crafting some stuff. Is have I done the campaign on the mage? I can't remember. I might not have done the campaign on the mage. I can't remember how I hit honored on the mage, whether I cheesed patterns or whether I actually did the stuff. Crafting braces for Expulsum, so exciting. See, the funny thing was about the Expulsum. Funny thing about Expulsum was, even though we had Expulsum for the entirety of BFA, Expulsum was basically farming. Expulsum was basically farming with a twist, because you were still bottlenecked by time. And this becomes the problem a lot of the times if you have like a bind on pickup material. that if you can break it down to the fact that, right, I can make X amount of expulsum in an hour. How do I achieve that? Well, I buy the materials, I'm crafting items, I'm then putting them in a scrapper, and out the back of that I'm getting X amount of expulsum. That arguably is no different than going out and farming. You're trading your time for a result. It's a method of gold making that I try to avoid. I try to avoid it. And this is why I didn't really find crafting in BFA all that interesting. I actually spent most of my time... To be honest, I didn't do much gold making in BFA. It's why I came into Shadowlands poor as all hell. I think I came into Shadowlands with 1.4 million gold. And wrestled my way to millions in the early days of Shadowlands. Mainly because Battle for Azeroth for me was just an expansion of spending ludicrous amounts of gold. I was spending gold in BFA like it was going out of fashion, and apparently it was going out of fashion. 4 of 7. We are honoured as well here. Good, excellent. My home realm is good to go for next week. My 3 legendary crafters are ready over here. Right, Taran Mill. This is where we might have some work to do. You need a cheat sheet for keeping up with your characters. You're right, actually. Once they're done, though, once they're honoured and once they've got their legendary patterns, though, they're done. What slots do you think are the best to start for leveling legendaries? There's no clear answer to that in 9.2. There's no clear answer to that. In 9.1, there was a clear answer. Capes and rings. Capes and rings were the most in demand, for sure, in 9.1. 9.2, though, the meta is a lot more spread out. Which, in turn, you flip it on its head, basically means that you can level up a little bit of anything in the legendary market right now and probably see some success. I am concerned, though, for anybody that is trying to level up legendaries at this point. You're gonna have to go incredibly aggressive with it. Legendaries is not a casual gold making system anymore. It's too late in the expansion. Well, there's no. This is going to be the last major patch. That's not me saying you can't make gold with legendaries. What I'm saying is you can absolutely make gold with legendaries, but if you haven't leveled your professions yet, if you haven't unlocked those rank 4 patterns, you're gonna have to go twice as hard and twice as aggressive as the ones that have already done it, because you're fighting an uphill battle. You're going to need to fight twice as hard for every sale. There's a lot of effort that's going to need to go into getting legendaries to play catch up. This dude is... I've done the campaign on him, but he's not honoured yet. We're still nearly 2,000 rep away, so we need to fix that. We have patterns which we can complete still. Patterns is going to be worth 1250. So we basically need to find 750 reputation. Daily quests it is then. Where's our daily quests? Where's our world quests? There's one up here. Why can I only see... Oh, there's one down here. Let's play Spot the World quest today, isn't it? Why is there only 2? Oh, maybe I did one last night. One opposite ends of the map, of course. Well, we'll go do this one first then. So over the next couple of days, bang out some dailies seems to be the simple solution to this. Level legendaries in non-tier slots. Now you see, I have to disagree with that. I have to. Okay, let me clarify. It's not that I disagree with that. It's that that is not the answer. Because some of the slots that you would believe to clash with tier sets is actually the exact legendaries that people want. Because you have 5 slots for tier set, and you only need to equip 4 of them. to get the 4-slot bonus, meaning that there are players out there that absolutely want their legendary in a tier set slot. Why? Because it has ludicrous amounts of stats attached to it. Like I said, this patch, everybody wants a little bit of everything. There isn't that cut and dry, you should level this first. It's yeah, people want there to be a defined meta so that they know what to level. There isn't one. Like I can't stress it enough. Like, there isn't an answer to that question this patch. Last patch it was quite simple. Capes, rings. If you level capes and you level rings, you'll make plenty of sales. You probably won't make a lot of profit on them, but you'll make plenty of sales and you'll probably be happy about it. This patch though, everybody wants a little bit of everything. Getting professions ranks up is not the problem. The issue is selling those crafted items. You literally have to babysit the auction house. Yes, this is it. This is it. You need to... that's actually a very good point. Don't worry so much about which one you should be leveling up. Worry more so about the amount of effort you're going to need to put in to sell anything that you craft in the first place. Crafting them is easy. Trust me. It's the expensive bit, but it's the easy bit. Worry more so about how much time you're going to be willing to put towards actually selling the things that you craft. If you're not willing to spend an hour or so a day cancel scanning, you are absolutely not ready for the legendary market. Was that all we had to do for that? Can we go kill Tethos? Let's go kill Tethos. That will get us some patterns anyway. Is there any way to... Hang on. Is there any way to include in the cancel scan of auctions ones less than 2 hours left? Not in a cancel scan, I don't believe. When you're posting stuff, you can choose to exclude auctions below a certain below a certain time left on them. Whoa, hang on, what are we doing here? Let's pew this dude real quick. Any thoughts on why Blizzard made elusive herbs or ore in Zereth Mortis? I would imagine it's an interesting mechanic to use. Secondly, I would also assume that it might that there might be a sneaky this might be their next their next, it might be Blizzard playing the next card in their arsenal against the bot market, because the elusive ones, they don't show up on the minimap. Blizzard may have figured out how some of the bots do what the bots do. They may have noticed that the bots beeline towards anything that pops up on their minimap. Well, if it doesn't pop up on the minimap, guess what the bot's not going to do? That's hypothetical, but it's potentially a reason. You know, you need a real set of eyes to see the elusive herb to go and get it, to go and click on it. Nobody's going to not pick up elusive herbs, but I would imagine there's a scenario in place, potentially, where Blizzard would be able to see accounts that are consistently picking up only certain nodes, for example. I don't know. It could be their next play in trying to either bot detection, or yeah. For example, I ran past this and I saw this, and I would go and pick it up right now. But this is an elusive one that wouldn't appear on the minimap. If there's a bot that runs past this and never picks it up, you know, it becomes very apparent that they're not using their eyes and that something fishy is going on. Who knows? It depends how smart their detection systems are getting. You'd fucking hope after 15 years their detection systems would be pretty hot, but, you know, maybe I'm giving them too much credit here. I like the fact that they've, you know, they're mixing it up, though. They're making the gathering... Ironically, gathering in patch 9.2 is considerably more engaging than it's been throughout the rest of the expansion. You know, in this patch, not only have we had these elusive nodes, which they don't show up on your minimap. You kind of need to spot them for yourself. You might need to go a little bit further out of your way to loot them. That's kind of quite cool. There's now these, you know, that you can get a buff for gathering. There's 3 different variations of the buff dependent on what you want to achieve. You could, in theory, stack all 3 of the buffs. It's a nice way of making gathering just a little bit different, you know. You know, they did for the last couple of expansions, they did the whole rank system. You know, that the more that you gather, the more proficient you become in gathering, which is a nice twist.
Beneath these sands are ravenous...
What are we doing here? Irresistible goop. Oh, this is the sushi quest. We need to kill spiders for the sushi quest then, don't we? It's 6 pieces of goop we need, isn't it? Yeah, 6. Oh no, pet's dead. Let's go kill Mother while we're at it. Skinned a plant, got a nightshade, was surprised. What are you doing skinning plants? This daily's such a bait. Shows that you need to make 1 goop, but then once you've... Yeah, that's it. I really don't like this one. That you're like, oh yeah, cool, I made the irresistible goop. Oh, now go do 10 other things with it. Yeah, so fuck you. Let's put a group together for Mother, I suppose. Who's the Tethos was up today? Is Acaris up as well today? Accuracy's up, yeah. That'll be a nice supply of materials then, if that's the case. Nobody wants to kill Mother. There we go. Left the party, scumbag. What did you expect when you joined a group for Mother? Too many groups already up. Realm hopping for rares, quite possibly. I don't think I'm, I mean, I could put some time to just cheesing the rest of this pattern's progress, but I might just do some dailies for a few days. Although, how close am I? Yeah, I need to do the dailies anyway. Yeah, even cheesing this is not going to hit Honoured, so I need to do some dailies anyway for the extra rep. Don't hurt this poor spider. Hey, the spider started it. Spider ran across my foot when I wasn't expecting it. You should, you know, if you're gonna do that, you're asking to get squished. I hate spiders. I tell you what, one of the blessings of moving to Finland from the UK. No spiders in Finland. Haha! Spiders basically don't exist in Finland. Well, they do, but they're like literally the size of, you know, tiddly tiddly. And they definitely ain't gonna. They definitely don't do all the zooms, and they definitely ain't gonna kill you. House spiders in the UK are genuinely the spawn of Satan. Since when did we Brits have killer spiders? They're not killer spiders, but they're monstrously large and they run incredibly fast. Which in my books is a fuck off moment. I'm not engaging in that shenanigans. Can we just go to the bit where they, you know, they all spawn and we AoE them down in one go? People and spiders, I don't get it. I don't see why they hate. I mean, I don't hate them. I just don't want them to be in my presence. It's quite simple. I would rather you stay under the sofa. Do not run across my foot while I'm watching the telly. If you do that, then me and you are going to have problems. It's quite simple. Have a bit of common courtesy, my eight-legged friends. Who would have thought Manthe the spider phobe?
With the more
Hey,
spawns so well
I'm the beast master for a reason. Don't get in my way. Right, 83%. That'll get done tomorrow with a couple of world quests. A couple of world quests on top of this. We need about 500 reps still. A couple of days of dailies, easy source. Nice. Let's put this character to bed then for a little while. Are you guys making gear with the optional reagent powers? They're listed at the same price. A optional reagent, if you are looking at it from the perspective of somebody looking to buy a 262, would you rather buy a 262 with a bonus power, or would you rather buy a 262 with no bonus power if they were the same price? You tell me what you would buy. You up the odds of making the sale if it has a bonus power on it, a progenitor enhancement. If it has an enhancement on it, you stand in better standing to sell the item, even if you're not necessarily the cheapest one on the auction house. You still have a better chance of selling it if you've got a progenitor enhancement on it, which is why on 262s I'm putting them on all of them. Right now, for as long as the profit is good, you can cover the cost of that progenitor enhancement. No problems whatsoever. The Pocopoc research table, there's a slot that makes it possible to get Cypher gear with Cypher sockets. This socket lets you put the enhancement thingies in that for 15 minutes. The 6 Pocopoc energy, but now they're going to last forever. Yeah, there's a couple of those that are really broken as well. There's a couple of those that are really busted. You can also reduce the amount of... if you're fishing for the right one, for example, if you're fishing for the right one, there's actually a... You can reduce the amount of energy that it costs down to 5, meaning that you might be able to do it twice in a go. What do we need over here then? We are, once again, monstrously far away from being honoured over here. Let's probably go do the same. Oh, save the Vombata. There we go. There was a third world quest. Maybe I did that last night. We'll start with that one then. There's a rare in the middle there. Do we reckon we can get to the rare? Competitive WoW subreddit was saying the avoidance one is the best one to get. It seems to be the most general, passive, overall, you know. The other ones, whilst they do appear to, at face value, look better, there may end up being a bit of a meta for which one is the right one, but like I said, from my perspective, something on there is better than nothing on there. Why did I gear up? I'm on mount up. I'm on a druid. What the hell am I doing? Do you think TCG mounts will get cheaper? No. Categorically no. There's no reason for TCG mounts to ever get cheaper. Why? Because there's no more of them that are ever being made. There's a zero limit on the supply of new TCG mounts because the cards aren't made. For that one very simple reason means that it's entirely a seller's market. If you want one, you have to pay the price that somebody's asking for one. That's assuming you can even find one. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. The exceptions are the White Rhino, and what's the other one? The X51? Is it the White Rhino and the Rocket? Yes, technically they're trading card game mounts, but they're also available in the black market auction house. So there is a steady supply, well, not steady, but there is a new supply of those ones. They're the only ones that have even the slightest potential to go down in price. Your Spectral Tigers, your Fel Drakes, your, you know, the other ones, there's basically zero chance of them ever being cheaper. In regards to, they will all, let me put it this way, the price will always be significantly out of the reach of most. They might sell for less, but they will float with whatever the natural inflation level is of gold at the time. The less that gold is worth, you know, it's relative in that regards, which means, yeah, if we see a huge amount of deflation in gold value, which is incredibly unlikely, because that's without going into too much detail, that's actually cancerous for the economy in the game if we have too much deflation too quickly. Just as much as too much inflation is bad, too much deflation is actually even worse. But that's the only scenario to where you might start to see them being cheaper. But let me put it this way, if you can't afford one now, you probably never will be able to afford one. I would say the reason they went up in price so aggressively in Shadowlands is for one of two reasons, though. They went up trading card game mount. For example, at the beginning of Shadowlands, you could pick up a Spectral Tiger for about 40 million gold. Which obviously is still a disgusting amount of gold, sure. But about 40 million gold at the start of Shadowlands, and you could buy a Spectral Tiger. Nowadays, that same Spectral Tiger is somewhere in the region of about 120 million gold. For one of two reasons. I think legendaries have had a play on that, but I actually think the bigger reason for them going up in price so aggressively is actually boosting. That the players who were orchestrating all of the boosting for, I mean, arguably years, were just making so much gold you can't even begin to understand. Literally so much gold you can't even begin to understand. Which, you know, the price of a Spectral Tiger is going to be relative to what the richest players can afford. If the richest, the reason there are 120 million right now is quite simple. It's because there are people that have 120 million gold that might want to buy one. Well, that's a good group, isn't it? He's already dead. Alright, screw it. He disappeared. If I'd be happy to see more of the trading card game stuff added to the black market auction house, but I also like the fact that there's a bit of prestige about it. The fact that if you have one right now, over time you are going to end up being one of only a very, very small amount of people that will end up still having one. There's not really, mounts are one of those things in the game right now where if you get a mount, a mount's a mount, like, honestly. Even the rarest mounts in the game are like, meh, whatever. But the trading card game mounts, if you have one, there's a bit of prestige about it, really. Either it showcases the fact that you've just played this game for so long that you were able to buy it when they were like readily available and affordable, or it showcases the fact that you've got more money than sense. Both of which are status symbols that are worth having to some people. It's like the Spectral Tiger right now. The Spectral Tiger, if you see somebody rolling around on a Spectral Tiger, you know one of two things. Either that they have played the game for a hell of a long time. That if to have a Spectral Tiger now means that you've probably played the game. It's like having a 5-year badge, 10-year badge for the game. There's not many people. There's no Legion babies that are rolling around on Spectral Tigers. There's probably not many WOD babies that are strolling around on Spectral Tigers. You kind of pretty much have to be a Wrath baby, a Kata baby. You know, you've got to have been playing this game for 10 years plus, I would imagine, to have any reasonable chance of having a Spectral Tiger.
Beneath these sands are
Whilst you still... It's surprising just how many of them you do still see, though. Of all of the trading card game mounts, the one you see most frequently is ironically the one that is arguably the most expensive and the most lucrative. Which I always find quite funny. I want to be a Shadowlands baby with a Spectral Tiger. I mean, that if you've got less than 2 years on your account and you've got a Spectral Tiger, you've definitely made a lot of gold in that time. Of all the mounts, I want the Feldrake, the one the most. I've got a couple of them. I can't remember which ones I've got. Have I got the Feldrake? I don't think I've got the Feldrake. They're not going to show in here unless I've got them either, are they? I think what's the... There's... God, it's bad. I can't remember what they're called. Blazing Hippogriff. This is a trading card game one, right? I think. I mean, this has got like look at the polygon count and the textures on this. It's just like, oh my days. Type Landro. Oh, there we go. So I got the big battle bear. I've got the Blazing Hippogriff, and I've got the Spectral Tiger. They're the three I've got. There was a period in time where I used to buy and I was actively trying to collect all of them, but as soon as they went out of production, they all just got too expensive too quickly. Right, what's going on with these groups? These groups are dum-dum groups. I'm going to put my own together, considering the boss is there. People lost their shit when they put the Spectral Tiger in the store in China. I don't really understand why. Because it's not like any of us have access to it all the same. And it's not like they gave it to people for free. It was literally, by definition, pay to win. It was the equivalent of something like $270, I think it was as well. It wasn't exactly cheap. It was a blatant pay-to-win cash cow situation. People lose their shit over well, there is an element of that, yeah. Only classic servers as well, not retail. That's true, yeah. Yeah, it's really not a biggie. Oh, this mage is going for it. Look, this mage is going for it. Expecting other people to follow. Sucker. Right, I suppose we should help out. Brave mage. Brave is one word. Not the word I'd use, but it's one word. I don't know why I decided to kill this rare, actually. I think I was just on autopilot. That doesn't make sense. Although, I need it for patterns anyway. Oh, oh yeah, I get sushi from it. That's how. That's why I was doing it. Can you set it to... No. Yeah, where's the auto invite button? There is one. Is it just not in the pre-made thing? Do you have to be in a different category or something? Yeah, give me an auto invite button. Oh, one piece of goop. I got one piece of goop out of that shenanigans. Outrageous. What's the point killing all them pissing spiders for one piece of goop? Alright, whatever. There's me trying to kill two birds with one stone. Or two spiders with one stone, whatever you want it. Whatever you want. Let's avoid that dude. There's two more goopy goops, two more sushis. I'll tell you what, I'm greatly going to enjoy the day where I don't have to feel obliged to be doing world quests on so many characters. I must admit, by this point, I am more than done with world quests in this zone. The sheer lack of variety of them as well. I don't look forward to having... Well, I'll do I will obviously, on my main character, want to get to Exalted before the end of the expansion. So I will slowly chip away at that for sure, but... Oh shit, I'm getting slapped. And that is how you do it in one pull. Then we run away. We run away. Escape. What? Let me leave. Goal making wise is honoured. Yeah, the all apart from a very few exceptions. Honoured is where we're after, what we're after anyway. Was that the 3 daily quests? I think that was the 3 daily quests, wasn't it? I could chip away a little bit further with patterns, but I need the reputation from world quests anyway. We've killed the world boss. Alright then. Well, I'm not grinding rares for reputation, so this dude is also for today finito. Now it's time to make some gold. Now it's time to check where all of our accounts are at. Get some cancel scans on the go, make some moolah. And more importantly, actually, I need to maybe, possibly, quite probably look at getting some materials ready for these. We've got leatherworking and tailoring on this one. I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, my computer's going to have a heart attack. I'm trying to load 4 different accounts at once. There we go, one's in. Oh god, more expireds. The downside of posting everything for 12 hours. Constantly bombarded with expired auctions. Oh, here's all that proto flesh that I didn't sell. Yay. Prepped so many mats for rank 7s, bought enough for 150 Legos, but now I've burnt through nearly all of them on rank 6s. That sounds a lot like goblin problems. A lot like goblin problems. Oh no, I bought all these materials and I've already turned a profit on them. Boo-hoo. Yes, I agree. Let's do a cancel scan. My primary is still Legos, so let's do Legos first. Didn't stack enough Corthite. Never enough Corthite crystals. Never enough Corthite crystals. Nearly dry on that too. Telling you, the buffer's nearly gone. Can we see what Corthite crystals are doing now? 128,000 Corthite crystals in the EU. There's only 3,000 rank 6s left on the entire EU. Only 3,000 people can have a rank 6 across the entire EU. It's really not a lot. Draenor goes through that in a day. Where's the region one? Yeah, see, we had this initial 9.2, people cleaning out their banks and whatever. People cleaning everything out. The price went down. Now it's got to the point where, oh no, now what's happening? Oh no, now there's not an influx of new quartzite crystals. Price starts to go up. Oh dear. Oh dear. People started to get, you know, people started to think, all right, this is it. Quartzite crystals are dead. Oh dear. There's a resurgence. It's happening. Now it's never going to get to these prices again, but the supply of quartzite crystals is dwindling. What's the NA look like? Everything's always a little bit softer on the NA. Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! Look how many quartzite crystals do not exist. Look how many quartzite crystals do not exist. 84,000 quartzite crystals for the entirety of the NA. That's 2,000 legendaries. $2,000 rank 6s left on the NA servers. That's it. That dip was Hickons is doing, right? Probably. Probably. Good, I need to make money on the 10k quartzite that I bought. Get crafting, you'll be fine. Already burnt through 12k crystals. Yeah, if I continue selling rank 6s at the pace to which I have been for the last couple of days, I'll burn through my supplies pretty speedily. Looking for more Shaping Fate. People are going to get so bored with Zereth Mortis, they're going to end up back in Korthia, farming quartzite crystals again. But you know what? For some people, if they're 1,000 gold apiece, they can go and quickly do Shaping Fate, get 5 quartzite crystals. It's more valuable to some people than doing a calling. Still makes it worth for some people. Not everybody, mind, but for some people. He's still selling through 230s. Item level 230 for 7,000 gold. I've not seen these prices for a little while on Draenor. Sure. I don't think I have any Legos left. You'd have to pay me more than 5k to get me to do that again. Well, exactly. This is the thing. Some people just won't do it out of principle. We have moved on from Korthia. Ironically, though, people still need the items that Korthia supplies. Oh, couple of rank 6s. I've got a couple of mounts to get from there. I could see me going back eventually. Yeah, I still want, once all the things kicks in, we'll spend a little bit of time out there just because of all the things, just trying to hoover up any last rewards that we're after before we say a fond farewell to Shadowlands in a few months. But I can't see there being much desire to go back there. Never got the Crafter's Mark 3 on some of my alts. I guess it's time to start working on my Korthia game. Maybe. If the price is right, people will go back there. Yeah, I mean, if Korthite crystals spike to 2k or something ridiculous, you bet your ass people will be there before you can blink. Not rank 6 Korthia on any character and only got 1 on rank 5. You absolutely want to get at least 1 to rank 6 though. Because once 1 hits rank 6, it makes it so much easier if you ever need to do it on other characters. Okay, it looks like we made a bunch of enchanted lithium bars. I wonder how many of these I want to stock up on. I don't want to stock up. How flying is still... Hang on, so let's work out the roadmap. We have rank 7s this coming week. Rank 7s mythic opens this week. The week after that... Is it the week after that we get flying? We get rank 7s this coming reset. We get flying the week after. The week after that, we then get, if I'm remembering this rightly, yeah, it goes Lego, it goes rank 7s, then flying the week after. Then the week after that, we get second legendary. I think. It's hard to keep track of all of this unnecessary time gating. Probably could do with taking a little bit of a look actually as well at some point to see if I might just actually have to go and I might try and post some community questions to the TSM devs. Is this something that's being fixed? If it is something that's being fixed, when can we expect to fix? Rough timescales, we're not holding anybody to dates. These materials, let's get these sent to the right characters, just so they're on their way. And more importantly, out of my way. Good luck with that. They're never very forthcoming with information. Well, luckily, I have a little bit more... I probably have a little bit more luck than most when it comes to that. I can at least ask the devs a question and at least expect some answer. Maybe the legendary stock tracker guy will write an add-on for us. Speak of the devil. Done a post scan over here. Now, I've got the option. I could and probably should keep up to date with stuff on Draenor. I don't know. I might just take a slow day today, you know. I might just take a short, slow day. I'm feeling sort of happy and sort of ready for rank 7s. Sort of. Where do I stand with... Have these characters... This dude is in Zereth Mortis. I must have done something on this dude. I'm trying to keep track of my progress on all my characters. Trying to keep myself busy in between cancel scans. Try to do the scroll achievement needed for flying before week 4. The scrolls despawn as soon as they get clicked. You don't want to stand in line when everybody is hunting for them for flying. Oh, that's a good point. Zygor tells me to go get most of them. I think I've probably got most of them already. But you're right, actually. That's I should make sure that I've got everything but the campaign quest to complete that. That's a good shout. Next week we'll only be worrying about legendary groups. I'm kind of tempted to spend a bit of time before building some custom groups and operations just in case rank 7s turn up and TSM doesn't work the way we expect it to work. I do not want to be put in a position where I can't craft and sell rank 7s next Wednesday. So much so that I'm tempted to make custom price sources, custom operations, do the whole hog, get it all being calculated manually, just so that it's ready to go. Ready to go. Because I don't want to have to rely on crafting as a price source if it's going to end up being wrong. PSA for everybody here, make sure your normal price for your operations are working. I thought the same, get it done now before the rest of the curve tries to do it, yeah. I'll think about it. All prices are rising. My overinflated ones bought to flip are starting to sell on a few servers. Is this, yeah, this is probably people in preparation for, you know, making Shadowghast ingots and whatever. You can test exactly how TSM is going to look like on reset day by doing the stuff I DM'd you yesterday. Just run the commands in the Patreon channel if you want the prices to work as well. Yeah, I might take a little bit of a look at that. Rank 7s are in the TSM database at the very least. I was able to put some groups together for them. I've got the groups I gave out to people yesterday have the new rank 7 legendaries in here. 291s are here. Obviously you can see that the crafting costs is wrong, like mega way wrong. It's not using the vestige of the eternal on these. So I'm half expecting that crafting cost won't work properly, meaning that I might want to put some custom operations in place for these. Or I could not bother and just very simply go by fixed gold prices again, which equally works. Now the likelihood is that this doesn't show, this might not show the correct crafting cost, because as of currently, the vestige, what is it? The vestige of the Eternal isn't a craft yet. Vestige of Origins is a craft, sure, but Vestige of Eternal is not until we can make it, and I don't think that's in the database. Hang on. Groups, base group. Yeah, Vestige of the Eternal is not in the database yet. Min price 150, normal 500, max 1 mil, done deal. Exactly, it could quite be as simple as that. Right, we'll take a little bit of a look at some market prices in a minute. I think that's going to be a good use of our time for now. Just keep an understanding of what's going on. Is that Desolate Leather sub? My days. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I know this is going to bite me in the ass, but hang on. Wait a rootin' tootin' minute here. Where's my vendor shuffles sheet? Isn't the arm guards? Desolate leather. Desolate leather at 2 gold a piece. That makes the vendor shuffle on Desolate Leather. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Not that I'm a fan of vendor shuffling, but shit the bed, I'll sell the leather back to somebody who is. Oh my lord. How much Desolate Leather was that I just bought? I just bought 50, 60, 70, 75,000 Desolate Leather for less than 2 gold a piece. Oh my lord. That's literally printing money. For reference, for those that may not have been paying too much attention to what I was just doing, if you're buying Desolate Leather, it's 2 gold a piece. The cost of your arm guards, Desolate Leather arm guards, are then 19.2 gold to craft. You can then vendor them for nearly 26 gold, meaning that you're making a 6 gold profit. 6 gold profit on every pair of arm guards, which basically means, in simple terms, is that I took 2 gold and I turned it into 3 gold. With a little bit of time and effort. Now, I won't be doing it, but what I will be doing is I'm waiting to sell the leather back to people that do want to do it. Oh my lord. Now, on the theory at least, if I could get my pallid bones at the right price as well, then the composite bows also work out very nicely, but that requires me to also get bones. What are my bones set at? My bones are set at 2 gold 50. Yeah, if you can get the combination of both your bones and your leather for less than 5 gold, you can usually win. But the bones are not going to be all that cheap. Oh my lord. Bones at 2 gold a piece as well. Go on then. That's why I've been selling pallid bones like a crazy person. Because they don't exist. Sure. God bless Skinners and their panic selling. I knew it'd happen. What was that? Hey! Shadow Steel Arm Guards, 262. That didn't take long, did it? Oh, that didn't take long. Good. That's what I want to happen. I want this to happen. It's in my best interest for it to be low prices, but there to not actually be that many. That works really well for me. What are essences looking like? Essences, Servitude and Valor are super cheap. No surprises there. So cheap, in fact, that it's almost cheaper to buy them than it is to prospect for them. That's a rarity on my realm. Torments and Rebirth are through the roof. Silken Proto Fibers doing alright. Widow Blue, I don't care about the herbs. Lightless Silk at 24. This is still holding strong. Elithium, 30 to 35 gold on my realm. Holy jeez. That's very cheap. I really need this Phaedron to go away. Oh, okay. Okay. We might look a little bit more region-wide in a minute. I'm going to take a quick break for 2 minutes, boys and girls. I'll be back with you in 2. I'm going to do something I very rarely do, which is hit the ad button. So if you see an ad, the best way to not see an ad again would be to hit that sub button. See if you got a Twitch Prime line about. No more ads for you. I'll be back in 2 minutes, though, boys and girls. Oh, alrighty. Buy a 50k rank 6 or 150k rank 7. Some people are poor off. Oh yeah, this will be the way the market plays for a little while, I think. Not everybody will be in the position to afford a rank 7 straight away. If goblins have their way anyway. Oh my god, rip mailbox. Actually rip mailbox. Made my first mill last night. Now I feel like a true goblin. Hey, GG. Well done. Hope the demand for leather kicks in soon. I keep buying the callous hide dip over and over. I need to do something with this desolate leather now. I need to do something with it. What is the something with it that I plan to do now? I guess I should. Do I? Because if I dump it back on the auction house at a high price, I'm only going to have to deal with it every 48 hours. Well, temporarily. What did we buy it at? Sub 2. We'll just throw it in there for now. Whoa. What are we doing? Hang on. Chill. Chill the fuck out. We'll put as much of it as we... Oh, hang on. TSM, just do it for me. We need skinners to get bored and move on to the next farm. Well, if the Pog Essence hype becomes real, we can expect them to move on pretty soon. There's definitely a huge oversupply of leather, though, at the moment. Definitely. And I know, give it a... I don't particularly want to be dealing with this as of right now, but I know full well that in a month or two's time, when all of the rest of the markets are a bit crashed, people will, without question, start to look to the vendor shuffles and all that sort of stuff. So
My inventory is full.
I've done something similar a few times this expansion. Some of you may remember I was dealing with disgusting amounts of shrouded cloth at one point. Which I managed to work my way through anyway. There's a good chance I'll end up using half of this for legendaries anyway. I'm in no worry about using this. Not using a mailing operation's causing me serious OCD. Sorry. I don't always want all of it mailed to the same place, and I can't be bothered to set up proper operations for that sort of stuff. Volumes are still going way up. Ignore today's line. That's heavy callous. Damn! Damn! Hang on. Let's investigate properly. Heavy callous has got to be on my list, right? Sure it is. This is the NA servers. Look at the quantity available on heavy callous over the last week. To the moon. But we saw the exact... Say, who remembers 9.1? The launch week of 9.1, the exact same thing happened. People went ham. Actually went bonkers crazy farming leather in the first week. Then what happened very shortly after was that the legendary demand kicked in, and it all just got hoovered up. All got hoovered up again. Because legendaries use a stinky amount of this stuff. Stinky amount of this stuff. 100 gold a piece though for heavy callous hide. Man, oh man. What's it doing over in the EU? Let's pick, I don't know, Draenor. Where's Draenor on the list? Look at the supply. Look at the supply quantity. You know, nice steady supply. Nice. This was 9.1, by the way. This is what happened in 9.1. 9.1 launched. Boom! The supply's gone a little bit more vertical this time, though. Holy Jesus. That's actually ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. Lightless silk that shot up to 150 gold on my server and took until now to get down closer to 40. I'll tell you what, new patches land and prices just go mental. I'd stop buying that dip. Yeah, that's yeah. Now I know there's going to be a lot of demand for legendaries, but this monstrous increase of supply, actually monstrous. See, this is one of those scenarios, right, where at this moment in time, it's like I should eat my hat. I've got a video that was suggesting people invest in heavy callous hide. Well, yeah, I guess that's that can be put in the bin now, isn't it? Really? That's ludicrous. See what happened in 9.1, you can see here. 9.1 turned up and the supply, the regional price of heavy callous hide was high, at a high point. 9.1 came out and it dipped. Legendaries though, all they did to the legendaries brought the quantity back down again, but it's significantly more difficult to bring the price of a material up than it is to push it down. For a price to go up is 10 times harder than for a price to go down. Because the natural path of a material's price is always down. So when it dips, even when the supply runs out, it rarely peaks higher than it was before in the first place. So the likelihood is that heavy callous hide will never really go above 400 gold a piece again. But people buying them up at 100 now might find some success selling them for 200 in a week's time. That sort of thing. You have to put your always disclaimer into your videos that this is for entertainment purposes. Yeah. Yeah. Invest at your will. The hat eating is going to be a good follow-up video. Maybe. That's a monstrous growth in supply. Over 1 million heavy callous hide kicking about on the EU now. Damn. Fun times. Fun times. Let's send the rest of this over. Because if I send it over now, it's no longer a problem for 30 days until it comes back my way. I'll worry about it again in a month. Are there any vendor flip possibilities on heavy callous hide? I mean, to be fair, I jest, but at 100 gold, it's probably not far off. Right, this lot will resell. sounded like my door. Back into. Alright, we're back. Do I have any insight on a buffed Pog Essence drop rate? Seems higher today. Saw some people on the WoW Economy subreddit speculating about it as well. No, I don't have any insider. I don't have any insider information, no. I can merely go by what people tell me. For reference, though, what I can tell you... What's going on here? What I can tell you is that a fair few people are indicating that they're having more success using the... what do you call it? The progenitor enhancement buff than they were previously. I'm of the opinion that the buff just didn't do anything. The drop rate seemed to be so ridiculously low. That it was hard to tell. But the Giro buff seems to now actually do something. If you have the buff, you seem to have a much greater success when out gathering. Now, what that means long term, I don't know. I mean, it's cool that the buff now works. The fact that we're, you know, only a handful of days away, technically, from rank 7s causing a massive spike in demand for these Pog Essences anyway. I don't know. Chests also still seem to be the way forward for it. Obviously, you're limited to how many chests you're going to come across, though. You're going to come across far more herbs, far more ore than you would do chests, but... I got 14 Pog Essence last week with no buff across 4 characters. I've had 0 this week with the buff. I've only got 3 in total. See, this is the thing. It's when the drop rate on something is so remarkably low, you need huge amounts of data to really confirm or deny anything. It's much easier to build an average and an understanding if you get 20, 30, 40, 100 of something in an hour's time. But when you're getting like 1, maybe 2 in an hour, you just need monstrous amounts of farming data to really work it out. I think it's relatively safe regardless that Pog Essence is still going to float around the 20k mark. I think because you look at it from this perspective, right? That at about 20,000 gold for each progenitor essentia, let's say, hypothetically here, let's say that you can get 3 Pog Essence an hour reliably. Let's say you can reliably, if you farm for 10 hours, you'll end up with 30 Pog Essence. Let's just say, hypothetically. In that 10-hour window, it took you 10 hours of 10 hours of farming, and you got 30 Pog Essence. That's enough for 15 people to get their rank 7 legendary. But that still took you 10 hours to do it. This means that on reset day, when your entire server wants a rank 7 legendary, the supply, it doesn't matter what the price is, the supply will get hoovered up. Because you physically cannot go, even if you put 10 farmers in action, if you put 20 farmers in action, you still can't meet the heavy demand, because even if the drop rate has been buffed, these are still super duper rare. It won't be until the demand for the rank 7s drops, it won't be until we get additional farming abilities such as flying, to where you'll start to see the balance happen. But right now, it's just all hands on deck, go, go, go. If you're out farming right now, then you can probably get a few of these an hour, and you can probably make 50, 60,000 gold an hour just off the progenitor essentias. But like at the beginning of every patch, it's always a farmer's season at the beginning of a patch. In a couple of weeks' time, it will be completely different. But in a couple of weeks' time, the rush will be over, so it doesn't matter as much. Just woke up. Somebody boosted Corthite crystals to 1400 gold. The buffer's disappearing on Corthite crystals. I've been keeping a track of it over the last few days, and the buffer's slowly diminishing. In theory, if everybody farms up 3 Pog Essence on their character over the last 2 weeks, there'd be no demand since everybody is self-sufficient. Realistically, that doesn't work, though. Yeah, the big problem... Yeah, this is another one of those scenarios that you can apply logic to stuff, and that would make sense. That would make sense. Perfect sense. That with 3 Pog Essence, you would be able to get your 262 BOE, and you'd also be able to get your rank 7. The problem is the majority of the player base has no ability to make a rank 7 themselves. So they are entirely reliant on the crafters on their realm supplying it. Which means that crafters are going to have a little bit more say on what happens. Since people sold theirs the first day for 5k for that easy gold, yeah, they might eat their hat next week. Lots of hat eating going on this patch. I don't know what's going on with that. Having a field month on these Pog Essences? Yeah, maybe. How many have I got of these things? I've got 350 of them on this realm, which is, in my eyes, probably good enough for the first day or two for me. 350 of them means that I can comfortably craft 1 or 2 of every rank 7, with then some spare to restock on things that I sell. I would like more, but I'm in no real rush to buy more. I'll ride the wave a little bit, I think. I think at least on my home realm, like I said, this is where you need to understand how your realm works. I know on my realm, there's probably only 4 or 5 people on the realm right now that have the ability to craft all of the legendaries. There are lots of people that have some patterns here and some patterns there, but I'm talking about, you know, the big goblins out there. There's not that many on this realm that have every single... Not many people can open up LST and it look like this, to where they have everything unlocked and everything craftable. Not many people are in that position. Few enough people that I don't feel the need to be super duper mega aggressive. I used to know my realm, then it went batshit crazy. Well, sometimes that happens, unfortunately, yeah. Need a time machine to buy more Pog Essence the first week. I mean, I did tell people. I know I waited a few days, but I definitely told people. I said 5 to 10k feels remarkably cheap. And now there's not a single realm out there that has... I mean, what's the region price on these? The region... Ironically, the region price... Hang on, 1, 2, 3... The region price is 16k. But TSM pricing's all over the shop at the moment, so... It's all a bit wackadoodle. I probably, by the time... I might want to stock up to about 500 of these in total. I spent a few on 262s. We'll see how my twos... How can I check my ledger, actually? It might not be the worst idea to take a little bit of a look and see how and what we still have. Quick. We've got 4... Hang on. I've got 4 262 necklaces left. 4 262 rings left. Quick, versatile, something or other. 5 of those left. Only 2, yeah, only 2 rings left by the looks of things. There. See, I'm not really, at this point in time, I think I'll just sell through the 262s that I've crafted now. I don't think I have much of a plan to recraft any of these. If I sell out of them, I sell out of them. Like, I knew going into the 262 market that it was not going to be a market that I was going to pay much attention to for very long. Hopefully, TSM will do its thing and fix itself so that I can just set up some default auctioning operations and crafting operations and just let it be. The second rank 7s become available, I will stop cancel scanning on 262s. I just won't have the time or the effort to do it. Personally, I think it'll still be 16 to 25k even when Legos hit due to the increased supply of the last 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah, the simple science of it is that there'll be more people that will want a rank 7 in the early days than the market will be able to facilitate, I think. Because of the lack of friction to make the rank 7s this time. It's a big item level jump. You know, from a 262 rank 6 right now to a 291 item level. It's a big item level jump. Definitely worthwhile getting in on if you're a progression focused player. Definitely worth getting in on. Additionally, 2000 Cosmic Flux is an absolute joke. No friction there at all. I think there's going to be a mountain of people that will be waiting to buy their rank 7s. That the only thing that will stop, the only thing that will limit supply, not limit supply, sorry, the only thing that will limit sales of rank 7s on the first day is if goblins get too greedy. And if goblins try and hold them at like a high price. because people are going to have more of an idea of what they actually cost to make this time. Because unfortunately the maths is quite simple. Take the price of 2 Pog Essences and the price of a rank 4. You know, 60k. 60k is about what a rank 7 is going to cost. Goblins will want to sell them for 120 to 150 just to make it worth their while taking the risk and investing ahead of time. But realistically, the overall crafting cost is probably not going to be much more than about 60-70k for each one. But most people don't know that, so I don't know. It's a hard one to. We'll just have to see what happens. We'll see what happens. I could just do lots more cancel scanning for today. I think I'm going to take an easy day today, boys and girls. An easy day. My regular streaming schedule is about 3 to 4 hours, and I'm now considering streaming 3 to 4 hours an easy day. I guess that's because we've put in some big days recently. I'm going to take a chill one. I'm going to go and eat some food. I'm going to spend some time with the wife. I'm going to relax for a little bit. It is Friday after all. I will probably be doing some bonus streams either tomorrow or Sunday, but not necessarily they're going to be quite so at the same schedule. We'll see. If you see a bonus stream over the weekend, consider it a bonus stream. Come and say hi. Failing that though, we'll be back on Monday. Keep an eye on your markets over the weekend, boys and girls. The weekend is usually a very good time to buy materials if you need them. The weekend also tends to be a very good time to sell things. If you're in the 262 market, if you're in the 233 market, keep on top of your auctions, keep your cancel scans on the go, get stuff listed, get stuff sold, make a bunch of gold and have fun doing it. If I don't see you before, boys and girls, I'll see you all on Monday. Have a good weekend. Peace.